I'll tell you one of my great-grandmother was an expert storyteller. So we are there for 30 to 40 days. In the vacation time is the only time when we meet her. It's about 36 of us, all cousin brothers and sisters living in various cities. We all arrive at our ancestral home and it's one rollicking madness happening there. So in the evening, she'll start the story, everybody will gather. And she's talking about a princess who starts combing her hair. By the time the comb reaches the end of her hair, our vacation is over, we say, what's next, what's next? You say, come next time. And she's over 100, she says, come next time. What do? Anyway, this is one story which stuck with me. This happened. There was a farmer who worked hard and broke the land and grew in those days. Then he had two sons. Both the boys worked hard and worked with everything. Then the time came, in those days in India, the land was never split among people. It was only the produce which was split. So, when the father came to his deathbed, he told the two boys that both of you, no matter what happens, must take 50% of the produce each. Never there should be a dispute about this. The boys said, yes, definitely. Then one boy got married and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. And the other boy never got married, so he had no children, he was alone. But both were getting 50% of the produce. So one day one worm entered one of the boys' minds. You know, worms sometimes enter in your head, do funny things. They should be in the earth, but unfortunately they're in people's heads. So a worm entered and this guy who had 5 children and a wife thought, I have a wife and 5 boys and they will grow up and break more land for me and I will always be well, but my brother has nobody. In his old age, what will he do? So he must get little more than me. So in the night, secretly, from his store, grain store, he takes a sack of grain every night and walks quietly in the darkness and puts it in his brother's grainage. After some time, the same worm entered the other brother's head also, and he started thinking, I'm just alone, what do I do with all these earnings? My brother has 5 children and a wife to take care of, he should have more, but he's so proud he won't take it. So in the night, he started taking a sack of grain every night and putting it in his brother's grainage. This exchange, reverse osmosis was happening for many years. One day, the townspeople wanted to build a temple in the village and they were looking for a site. But they couldn't find it at all, they were searching, they couldn't find a good site because in India, a temple site is not just chosen by its advantage of location, it has to have a certain energy, it has to have a certain sanctity. They did not find any such place, so they were continuing to look. But it so happened, by then both these brothers have grown old and one night they were carrying these sacks and came and they saw each other. What was happening all these years, this reverse osmosis, his grain is going into this guy's storage, this guy is putting it back there. They looked at each other and they avoided and they continued their journey and put the sacks there and went back. And then they died. After they died, the townspeople felt the place where they met on that night, carrying sacks of grain, trying to put it in the other person's grainage without the other person knowing about it, and when they looked at each other, they felt so embarrassed that they looked away and continued their act. They thought, this is the best place to build a temple. Let's build the damn temple in this world. That's the temple we need. That is the temple we need right now, of humanity. We need a temple of humanity. We have spoken a lot about divinity, nothing to say about it. I'm not saying anything, questioning anybody's beliefs or anything, it's fine. But We need temples of humanity because I've been looking, traveling around the world, whenever I say bliss, people will say divine bliss. If you say love, they say God is love. If you say joy, they say divine joy. It looks like all the good things about human beings have been exported to heaven. These things are very useful here on this planet. If you're joyful, if you're blissful, if you're loving, it's very useful and wonderful here. Hello? And anyway, if you are going to heaven, at least practice being joyful and loving because there it is required. At least here you must practice, otherwise what will you do there? So, the wonderful people of Tel Aviv, do I have it with you? One, two, three. Let us make it happen. Thank you very much. Is the soil anthem?
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.